Your cat knows you're not an animal, but they treat you like one. More specifically, they treat you like a very large, very clumsy cat. And that's not an insult. It's the most surprising thing cat research has discovered in years. There's a question most cat owners have felt, but never quite put into words. Does my cat actually see me, or am I just the thing that opens the food? The research has an answer, and it's not what most people expect. For decades, the assumption was that cats tolerate humans, that they domesticated themselves for practical reasons, stayed for the food, and never really developed a bond the way dogs did. That assumption is wrong. What behavioral scientists have found is something far more interesting. Cats don't have a separate category for humans at all. They don't have a concept of owner. They have a concept of colony member. And if your cat has accepted you, every behavior they show you, every sound they make, every gesture comes directly from the social vocabulary they use with other cats. In the next few minutes, we're going to go through what that actually looks like, the specific behaviors, what each one means, and what it tells you about where you stand in your cat's world. By the end of this, the way your cat looks at you is going to mean something completely different. Point 1. The discovery. In 2002, Dr. John Bradshaw at the University of Bristol began what would become one of the longest-running studies of domestic cat behavior. His team observed cats in multi-cat households and feral colonies, documenting every social behavior, every interaction, every signal. Then they compared those observations to footage of cats interacting with humans. The result was not what they expected. The behaviors were identical, not similar, not analogous. The same gestures, the same vocalizations, the same physical signals, used in exactly the same contexts. Bradshaw's conclusion was direct. Cats have not developed a separate behavioral repertoire for humans. When a cat interacts with you, they are running the same social software they use with other cats, which means every time your cat does something that seems strange, affectionate, or confusing, there's a precise feline translation for it, one that was never meant for you specifically, but applies to you completely. If that reframes something you've wondered about your cat, this channel is built entirely around moments like that. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Point 2. Bunting. Your cat walks up to you and presses their forehead against your face, or rubs the side of their cheek along your leg, or bumps their head into your hand. This is called bunting, and it is not random affection. Cats have scent glands along their cheeks, forehead, and chin. Bunting deposits scent from those glands onto a surface, or onto another individual. Here's what matters. Cats do not bunt objects they're indifferent to, and they do not bunt strangers. Research on feral colony behavior shows that bunting occurs exclusively between cats who share a social bond. Cats who groom each other, sleep together, and move through territory as a unit. When your cat bunts you, they are placing you inside that category, not metaphorically, chemically. They are marking you as part of their group using the same signal they would use with a trusted colony member. You are not being pet, you are being claimed. And the next time it happens, the correct response, in cat social language, is to lean gently into it. Let the contact happen on their terms. That's how cats respond to each other. That's how you respond as a colony member. Point 3. Trilling. Most cat owners know the trill, that short rolling vocalization somewhere between a purr and a meow. What most owners don't know is where it comes from. Mother cats use the trill exclusively with their kittens. It's a contact call, a sound that means I'm here, come with me, pay attention. Adult cats don't use it with other adult cats they're indifferent to. They use it with cats they're bonded to. And they use it with humans they consider the same. A 2003 study by Dr. Suzanne Schutz at Lund University, analyzing cat vocalizations across different social contexts, found that the trill appears in humans' presence under the same conditions it appears between bonded cats: greeting, proximity seeking, and social invitation. When your cat trills at you across a room, they are not making a sound at you. They are making a sound to you, the same sound they would make to a cat they trust. You are receiving a communication that was never designed for humans. You just happen to qualify. Point 4. The belly. A cat rolling onto their back and exposing their stomach is one of the most misread signals in feline behavior. Most people reach for it. Most cats immediately respond by grabbing the hand. Here's what's actually happening. The belly is the most vulnerable area on a cat's body. Exposing it is not an invitation to touch. It's a declaration of trust. Research on social behavior in feral colonies shows that cats only roll and expose their belly in the presence of individuals they consider completely safe. Other colony members they have long established bonds with. They do not do this with strangers. They do not do this with cats they're uncertain about. When your cat shows you their belly, the message is precise. You are someone I am not afraid of. The reaching instinct is understandable. But in cat social language, the correct response is to acknowledge the signal, not to act on it. A slow blink, a quiet word, staying where you are. That's what a trusted colony member does, and that's what keeps the signal coming. Point 5. Why cats never developed a human category. Dogs have been domesticated for roughly 15,000 years. Cats, in the full sense of living in close domestic relationship with humans, for around 4,000. But the deeper difference isn't time. It's the nature of the domestication itself. Dogs were selectively bred for human interaction. Specific traits were amplified: attentiveness, responsiveness, the ability to read human gestures. Their social behavior was actively shaped around us. Cats were not. They self-domesticated around human settlements, drawn by rodents, tolerated for pest control. The relationship was parallel, not collaborative. No one was selecting cats for human-directed social behavior. What this means is that cats never developed the cognitive architecture for a separate human social category. Dr. Bradshaw puts it plainly. From a cat's social perspective, there are colony members and there are non-colony members. Humans who live with cats get sorted into one of those two groups. There is no third option. You are either in or you're furniture. Point 6. What this means for your relationship. This reframes something that cat owners often feel but can't explain. Why does your cat come to you and ignore everyone else? Why do some people walk into a room and cats immediately approach them, while others sit for an hour and never get acknowledged? It's not personality. It's not luck. It's whether the cat has classified that person as a colony member. And that classification is based on a very specific set of criteria. The same criteria cats use with each other: predictability, non-threatening behavior, appropriate response to their signals. The cats who bond quickly with certain humans are responding to people who, often without knowing it, are behaving like cats. Moving slowly, not forcing contact, responding to signals rather than initiating on their own terms. Your cat doesn't love you despite being a cat. They love you through being a cat. Every behavior they show you is borrowed from a social vocabulary that predates your relationship by millions of years, and they chose to extend it to you. There's a version of cat ownership that looks like tolerance. The cat is there, they eat the food, occasionally they sit nearby. And there's a version that looks like this: Bunting, trilling, the belly, the slow blink across a quiet room. The difference between those two versions isn't how much you love your cat. It's whether your cat has classified you as colony. You don't earn that by being present. You earn it by being readable. by responding to their signals in a language they recognize. The good news is that language is learnable. You've already started. If you want to know exactly how to speak it, the specific things you do every day that either build or quietly erode that classification, that's the next video. Including one thing almost every cat owner does that tells their cat without realizing it. I don't understand you, and how to stop.